So every day that I check in with myself and meditate, what I always comes up as the idea that's keeping me from my experience of freedom is money. Like I really feel good about everything else. I mean, I don't have everything, but I feel patient about the relationship, about the show happening. I know I'm following the path that's right for me. So, but the money thing is just like there's things I want to do that I think are included in that path, and they cost money. And I'm open to just making money, but I've tried that, and then I keep being called back to, because like what I'm doing takes up a lot of energy, and more than that, it requires me to be really clear and a solid container, and it's hard for me to do that when I can't just be like running around with my body the way I used to. I did that maybe for too many years, and now I can't work like a machine and then still push myself to be present and generous for like the stuff I'm doing for the world. So I was thinking about continuing to work with a teacher who I love working with, and I would pay for a year up front, which is a lot, and I was going to go to Sedona to commune with Black Elk and my teacher and my friend, and there's a class called the Pelvic Heart, which is like exactly everything I know I need right now. Like my abundance is in my heart, and I could feel this connection from my yoni up to my heart when I asked how to get there, how to, be in my heart. It was like the answer was like from there to my heart, and I haven't been able to feel it since. It's like, the womb of the heart. So the creation has to come from there, but it's powered by that lower center. So anyway, I want to take that class. It costs money. And the other day my mom was worried about her health, and I have been too. So it's one of the things that prompted me to do this ancestral healing on myself for the first time. And of course I wanted her to feel better immediately, and she didn't actually think she's feeling worse, because I think it's actually, I know it had effects, and it's a lot of stuff to come out, because I've been going through it. I've been really volatile and angry and frustrated and sad. But I'm feeling better now. It's moving through. So my mom was worried about her health, and then I was just like, it's so obvious to me, like, because she was always super healthy and did everything, take care of 8 brothers and her parents, moved to the States, worked 2 jobs, take care of the kids, make dinner every night, like all of that. And I got that from her, and I lived that way for a while too. And her soul is saying, it's time for another path for you. Like, you've done that, because even fortune tellers have said that, like, her destiny is to be a giver. And I'm like, right. And you're learning that the best way to give is to, like, be filled up with happiness for your own desires. Every time I do a reading on her, no matter what the health issue is, it's always the same. There's a 6-year-old child in her that wants to play, because since she was 6 years old, she hasn't chosen to do what she really wants. And instead, she's made what others want, what she wants. And that does give her pleasure, but it's just time for a different way. So it's like, you had to have a health issue, because that's the only way you would have stopped working, because you enjoy work and you want to help your family. So now she doesn't work as much, but so now she sees friends who like hanging out with her because she makes them feel better. And it's like, and they're not really bad people. I think they've weeded out the really leechy people from their life, but I know how rare it is to meet someone that actually feeds you, much less doesn't take anything away. Because I only have 1 or 2 people like that in my whole life that I really feel like they're nurturing for me, and I enjoy other people, but yeah. So so yeah, I was telling her, you know, every time you go out with, because it's the same thing. She feels tired and her body starts to hurt and the blood pressure goes up when she goes out and sees people. And she's like, even if I just go out for lunch, like how weak is my body? And she keeps judging her body. And I'm like, thank your body. Your body is stopping you. It's trying to get you back on this one path, but you keep going this way. And the only way you will get on this path is if you have a health issue. And it's going to keep happening. And I said, she's like, I don't even know what I want. You know, I said, you just need to like really connect somehow with what you want, you know. And if you don't know, then like pray about that. And she's like, I was like, you just like pray or meditate. I always tell you the same thing. And she said, I do pray, but you know, when she prays, she thanks God for everything and you know, wishes well on others. And I was like, that's great. And I'll just add to it, like, what would make me happy, you know, because you don't know, and the answer will come. And then of course, as I'm telling her all this, and I said, you know, she's like, I don't even want anything. If this blood pressure thing was taken care of, I'd be happy. And I'm like, that's not true. That's like Dad saying, is if this house just sold, if this store just sold, then I'd be relaxed. It's like, yep, except there's something else comes up. And like, as long as we say, this thing needs to be different on the outside for me to feel differently, it's gonna keep showing up because God is gonna love you enough to keep showing you where you're limiting yourself until you stop. And I'm like, oh right, that is exactly what I'm doing with money. I'm like saying, everything else is good, it's just this money. So, and just when I decided, you know, I'm going to give up on like, I'm going to let go of feeling like I should do all of these things that are good for me, you know, like, because I want to do them because I would enjoy them, but there's also part of me that feels like I have to stay on the path, or I need support, or else I'll like revert or something, even though I know that's not really possible. I suddenly heard about this trip to Mexico, to this place called Madeira, and on the very dates that I would have performed my show, it's from October 14th to October 24th, which I thought I was going to be in Sedona, then be here or in Sedona to perform my show, and then at the end of the thing take that pelvic class somehow again, if money just showed up. But I had let all that go, right? And so now I was like, wait, the languaging, everything just felt right. It was about going down to the heart of the mother in the womb and then going up into the skies and talking about star messages from the stars, you know, and I've been connecting with that a lot lately. Like the Sirius star system keeps coming up, and through the book The Sophia Code, and also separately. And then I realized what I'm working on is ancestral constellations. Constellation, the very word comes, we think of it as related to stars. So I'm like, I'm not skipping out on my show. Like, I'm meant to do it there. But it's like $2,500. And the facilitators have their own program, but I just feel like that's right. So I was kind of like, all right, universe, like, I got clear on what I want. I'm gonna believe in my own worth and not keep feeling like something's wrong because I don't have money. But now what, you know? And then the idea just came to me just now as I'm sitting next to Mother Mary, the flowers, that I'm going to create a video about what I'm just like this, you know, but maybe a little more produced video about what my show is actually about, and it will help me to reflect on it just like these videos do, and make it like a Kickstarter campaign. Because I was thinking of asking people to maybe like send any birthday or Christmas stuff like now, but first it felt kind of crass, but then I was like, no, I'm just being transparent. But I was like, no, you know what, I just put it out to the world so no one feels, no pressure. And again, even if just for me to send to the facilitators, like to even say, is this a right fit, you know, for me to go at all, and then to present the show. So yeah, and the two people, I mean many people, it's an honoring of all of us, you know, of all our humankind, but it stems in the physical plane from my cousin. One of them is my cousin, and it's her birthday near that time, so that also feels right. Okay, and synchronicities don't always mean something. I mean, they always mean something, but they don't always mean you're supposed to follow that track. It just is like a sign that, hey, life is magical. See it? Um, but just got to tell you about this one. So yesterday I had a lovely day out with a friend, and he he was telling me this long, intricate story about this experience, and then it leads up to this liqueur called Merida, and that it was like made of honeydew melon, and then like when you added like another spice or flower, it just this taste, and that is the name of the city, the capital of the Yucatan Peninsula, that I would be in if I go on this trip on the night of the 14th and the 15th, which would be when I do the show. And the gates, we'd be looking at this arch. Is it arc or arch? Yeah, arch. That's supposed to be one of the most beautiful or powerful among all of the Mayan temples, and it means the gate to the wisdom of the mother.